Today we are taking a look at the Gibson RD Standard, which stands for Research and Development, and we'll get into that in just a second, but this is certainly an interesting, bold, and experimental guitar in Gibson history. This guitar originated in 1977 and is a solid body. Although this is a reissue, it is certainly a funky guitar, very loved or hated, but it was certainly a flop for the Gibson brand. It was kind of like a futuristic ambition on Gibson's line. They wanted to make something that kind of looked futuristic, and I think that they achieved that. It kind of does have the Jetsons vibe, almost Explorer-ish, almost Firebird-ish, definitely a big guitar, which does give it some really cool characteristics in the way it sounds. We're gonna plug this thing here in just a second, but first I'm gonna give it a quick history lesson. Originally, when the guitar came out in 1977, the guitar had active electronics and synthesizer influences. In fact, the electronic system was designed by Bob Moog. Yeah, that Bob Moog, you know, the guy, the synthesizer dude. The series actually flopped for Gibson and was discontinued in 1981. Well, really, 77 to 79, although some were still made up into 1981. But overall, it is an interesting piece of Gibson history. Before we get more into it, I think we should plug it in. So like, check out how beefy this thing is, dude. Like, just like freaking ripping. Just thick. And a lot of that to me is that low end warmth from just it being an all solid mahogany. Just freaking warm. And God, when I'm looking at this on my like monitor here, this guitar just looks so cool. I don't care what anybody says. Let's check out how it sounds clean though, because I got to. That's cool. Put a little octaver on it on the clean. So over time, this guitar has become kind of like a cult classic amongst like Gibson collectors or people who like to collect weird Gibsons, which is certainly me. I absolutely love them. So when I got the opportunity to play one of these, I'm like, oh, heck yeah, dude. This thing is really sweet. This one is all mahogany body, but I think early ones could be alder body. But this guitar being an all solid mahogany body certainly gives it a nice, aggressive, warm sound, because mahogany is inherently kind of a warm tone wood, and this thing is kind of big. It kind of reminds me of a Gibson Explorer, where you can get that warm chunk, that warm groove, making this guitar actually freaking sweet for rock and metal players. This guitar like freaking rips, dude. In fact, I feel like this guitar, even though it flopped, it's totally underrated. This guitar feels so freaking good, dude. It reminds me of my Explorer a lot. Like, I should A/B it. In fact, I am going to A/B it. So this guitar here has burst bucker pickups. It's got a volume, and a tone. Rosewood fingerboard. There's nothing too crazy about it. It's not like, you know, anything super weird, but it is freaking comfortable. It's like an odd misfit that made it back through the years, you know. I know that Dave Grohl and some other guys really kind of put this on the map again. In fact, I'm pretty sure when I saw the band Ghost a couple of years ago, the two guitar players were playing these, which is kind of cool because you don't see it very often. Now this one is a 2009, but again, they go all the way back to the 70s, and it's cool that Gibson always kind of recreates that kind of stuff, especially with them doing like the Victory now and stuff like that. So picture this. It's the 1970s. Disco is absolutely booming. It's infiltrating rock and roll is maybe struggling or finding a lot more synthesizers and keys in the music. Gibson is struggling. It's post-Norland era. They are trying to innovate. They come out with this bad boy, Research and Development. Which really does make for a pretty sweet name, like the Gibson RD Standard. Like, that sounds kind of futuristic. It's kind of cool. So Gibson ended up teaming with the electronics wizard Bob Moog. Yes, the Moog, like I was talking about before he left Moog Music in 1977. Moog designed active circuitry for, higher end RD models, incorporating compression and expansion and boost features, all powered by a 9-volt battery. When they came out, there were only originally about 700 to 1,000 made between the years 1977 into 79. Although, like I said, there were some stragglers into 1981. But the series ultimately tanked just because of its odd looks and the actual high price tag at the time, which was around $700. And if you equate that into what it is today, it'd be like $3,500 for this guitar. Which means that Gibson's kind of on par. They've always been really expensive, you know what I mean? But on a personal level, the guitar is a really cool guitar. I think it's really unique with a slight belly cut here and the overall warm, crazy offset look. Like, it's just a unique guitar. And as a fan of interesting Gibsons, I think that if you ever get the chance to play one of these, let alone own one, you should absolutely take the opportunity to do so, because it is not a bad guitar. It is a really great guitar that people just don't know a lot about. It is a relatively rare guitar. In the last 10 years of like being really active in the guitar community, this is the only one I have ever held or seen in person, making it kind of cool. But I'm interested to know, what do you guys think about this guitar here? Is it something that you would play, or is it just like totally not your thing? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to hear how this thing sounds compared to an actual Gibson Explorer, be sure and check out these videos here.